Welcome to the Cornerstore. My name is Pietro Baker.
And I'm Tori Watson-Jones.
Christopher Bass, a.k.a. C. Bass. Keep it fresh.
And we just want to thank Baker & H Media Productions and Cruise Tax Consultants for sponsoring us. And we hope you enjoy the show. Yes, and welcome to the Cornerstore. We have a special show today about healthy cooking, and we are in Bloomington, Illinois with Brandon Watson.
Hi, everybody.
This is Tori Watson's little brother. And so we are so delighted to be here. And he's health cook person, or what
I
you
just
call
like
it?
to try to eat healthy. So, we got to do what we can to stay healthy these days. And it starts with the kitchen. So that's one thing. So it starts with diet.
Right. And so today you are making, what are you making today?
I am going to be making pesto chicken. And the great thing about this recipe is that it can be done all on one cookie sheet. So save you time, not a lot of cleanup.
Okay, cool. So first you start off with chicken.
Yep, so what you're going to need is boneless, skinless chicken breast. And like I said, we're thinking about healthy, so remove that excess fat. And then what I like to do to kind of cut into the cook time is just cut the chicken breast in half with that butterfly technique. So just basically cutting it in half.
So take the skin off, you say?
No, you find it at the grocery store, boneless and skinless.
Boneless and
really
skin.
You're just going to cut it in half to make it.
But I thought that's the best part was the skin.
I find it, but I keep walking until I find the skin.
Because I'm like, where the skin at?
I keep going until I see the skin.
Right. And the bones.
I bypass that package.
It's good, but most of the fat's in the skin.
Oh,
very true.
That's true. Okay.
So what we're going to do to accompany our chicken, we've got some zucchini. So what I'm going to do is cut that long ways, and then I'm just going to cut up about 1/4 inch here.
Alright, you look like you don't did this.
Yes. So what?
Maybe once or twice.
Slice.
So why do? Okay. So one of the questions that came out. So why do we different foods in? Why should we choose to eat differently than the food we was raised on?
I still like the food I was raised on. Bacon ain't never hurt nobody.
Well, you know bacon. You
I'm
know.
still looking for if you gonna wrap some bacon around this naked chicken. This chicken need a coat on it. It's cold outside. Let's put a jacket on this chicken.
This is healthy eating. It's not clean eating, right? It's healthy. Now explain the difference between healthy and clean eating.
So you can still eat healthy, but not necessarily eat clean. So clean eating is really when you are focusing on eating preservative-free food. So things that are grown fresh,
right?
Meats that are not fed by feed, so they eat from the land. So that's the difference between clean eating and healthy eating.
Well, I'm out.
So wait a minute, but that makes sense. I mean, what do you have on stats on that? Like as far as clean eating and healthy. I mean, as far as us as a country eating, what is it? Start eating this way. How did we start eating this way?
Well, when more than 1/3 of America is obese, more 1/3 of America eats unhealthy, and how we got this way, honestly, started pretty much mainly. Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first reason would have to be is the fact that, for one, think about it. It's cheaper and easier. When you look at how we have to work nowadays. When you're working a long 8-hour shift, and some people don't eat breakfast, right? Eating, you sitting there, you working this long shift and whatnot, and you get off of work, you tired.
Right.
You just want something that's cheap, fast, on the go, and saves you the littlest amount of money.
Right.
Another thing is, one of the biggest problems that we have is a lot of the people that usually end up struggling with food disorders, or dealing with obesity, or dealing with eating unhealthy, low income.
Okay.
And when you think about the companies, they'll show you, like, okay, a good example, certain buffets, right? Might show you can eat all this whole smorgasbord for as little as $5.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's not cheaper. Good. It's not good food.
It's not good food, but think about it. It's a lot of food for a short amount of money.
Yeah. So it tells you that they didn't spend that much money on purchasing.
No.
Okay. So you have those zucchini, right?
Zucchini. I've got some grape tomatoes, and then what I'm doing right now is just seasoning the chicken up with some salt and pepper.
Okay.
And he still ain't got the bacon out.
But you know what? You know what? I took out salt in my diet. I did. Yeah, I
What you
haven't.
do that for?
I just did. I did, and I used something. I mean, I'm going to eat this, of course, but trust me. But no, I took it out because earlier this summer, I could tell the difference when I ate it and when I didn't eat it. I had a headache, and I was, and I was like, I could tell the difference when So I took it out, and I just used a lot of powders, like onion powder, garlic powder, and so I look in the back and stuff like that. I got a dietitian to.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Look
Yeah,
at you
dude.
doing
Well, the
that.
nice thing with doing no salt, there's a lot of seasonings that are salt free now, so that's the nice thing.
Like, remember back in the day, used to be Mrs. Dash.
Yeah.
That was like the hit.
Well, see,
And it comes salt free.
Then it's
Yeah.
salt free. I
See-
remember that Mrs. Dash was like the hit. Like when everybody was doing that kick up the no salt, you got you a
See,
bottle
I'm-
of Mrs. Dash.
I'm gonna take y'all back one. I know you too young, and you too young. You may know.
I'm too young too. You better
Hey,
this way
but I was
and say I'm
raised.
too young too.
But I was raised though by my great grandmother, so I might be aware of it.
Grandma.
Grandma's cooking. Great. Think about it. This is a 50. Like, she grew up in the 50s. So
Right.
cooking, I might be aware of it.
So it was a thing called Molly McButter.
Oh, I remember Molly.
Yeah.
I remember Molly McButter.
Yeah.
Bad chick.
Yeah. Molly McButter is all right. Okay, so you put garlic on there.
Yep.
And
a
what
little
else?
Minced garlic. So right now, what I'm doing is putting a little basil on there. So this kind of favors like an Italian dish. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of oregano. And we're just gonna put that right over there on the chicken. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add a little pesto. So you can use any pesto.
Now, what does pesto have in it? Is that looks like it's grounded with all kind of little stuff on it.
So what pesto is really nothing more than basil, garlic, and it's just pureed together with olive oil. So think of it like an Italian kind of green pizza sauce, if you want to think of it that way.
Okay.
Right.
So it adds nice flavor.
So then after the pesto, then you're going to lay some slices of bacon.
Right
on.
no bacon in this dish. Sorry to
No bacon.
let you down, sis.
So according to different races, Chris, like what do they say about it's certain races that my upbringing and we've been taught that if back in slavery days that whatever the master didn't eat
It was left over.
was left over for the slaves, so they got the bad parts.
Undesirable cuts.
Yeah.
So we like.
Yeah, so they got the bad
chitlins,
parts.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and
Ribs.
so we take it as a delicatessen. It's great to
Delicacy,
us.
right?
Yeah,
but it's stuff that wasn't highly nutritious for us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's the problem, which has led to, like I said,
Mhm.
diabetes.
Right.
Like I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but diabetes, cancer also can be linked to what you eat.
Mhm.
So after all years of eating all this stuff, well,
Yeah.
it's taking its toll on us.
Right.
And soul food, as you said, developed during when slave masters gave enslaved black people the undesirable cuts of meat.
Right.
Farming and hunting for wild game, including possums, rabbits, squirrel, and waterfowl, provided African Americans with the ingredients needed for the ideal soul food dish. However, historians say that some of these items didn't match the food choices that their African ancestors would have made.
Okay.
If you compare how we eat versus how people in Africa eat, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's a high fiber,
Yeah.
healthy fat, like avocado type of fat.
Right.
And they eat meat, but it's not, it's like you said, it's eaten off the land.
Okay.
They don't eat a lot of pride. We're the only country that eats apparently a more processed food than anybody else.
Right. And even the processed food, comes from us, companies who's trying to preserve the food on the shelf.
Right.
So if you got some bread or some crackers or rice or whatever there, and they want that to, instead of them constantly have to go to their produce and package it and send it to the store, what they do is put some in the food so they preserve and stay on the shelf long enough. Is that correct? Right?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's
And
correct.
see, going back to the low income families, instead of many low income families have to rely on small corner stores, which often are underwritten by big manufacturers. These mom and pop joints aren't exactly rolling in the big bucks.
Right.
And they often rely on perks offered by large-scale food manufacturers to put the company's products, usually chips, soda, candy, at the front of the store. Perishable goods like fruits and vegetables are more expensive and come with a greater risk of lost profits. Money is the bottom dollar here. Not only might it be more difficult to find a company to ship 12 apples at a time to a small convenience store, but if the apples don't sell in a few days, they go bad.
Right.
Twinkies, however, on the other hand, last a disturbingly long time.
right.
Now how you know about these Twinkies?
Yeah.
Well, that's just the long.
That is.
I think a lot of people. I took a health class, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah, Twinkie
certain stuff will last
for a long time.
But an apple, good apple, 3 to 4 days,
Right.
it starts to like shrinkle, and it's no longer nutritious.
So you put olive oil on top of the zucchini and the tomatoes, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So I did add a little olive oil, so that will help with the cooking, and then it also will give us flavor, and then not having as much fat as like using butter or lard.
Okay, so
bacon.
what's the bacon? What is the things? What is the components of alcohol? Oh, well, components. But what an olive oil that's better?
To get some bacon.
That's better than regular oil.
It's just because of the cholesterol. There's just not a lot of cholesterol, so it's just from the olives themselves. So it's just pressed, and that's how you get the oil.
Okay, all right. And then you put some other stuff that's on this dish.
So yeah, I did just put on the chicken. I just added a little mozzarella cheese that I shredded up.
Now we're talking.
And then again, the oregano and the basil that we added.
Okay, cool.
And then, like I said, the nice thing about this dish is it's all on one tray, so cleanup is easy. So this is a nice meal that you can make to kind of prep for the week, so you can cook it ahead and then you have it ready to go when you are ready to eat.
Okay.
And you know, and that brings you back to, that's one of the reasons why people eat the way we eat, or way mostly Americans eat the way we eat. We don't take the time to want to cut up vegetables and slice things.
Mm-hmm.
We want it all ready to go. Even when you go to the store now, you can get a whole roast kit in one cellophane package
it's just,
with the potatoes and everything, the meat and everything, even the seasoning.
Right.
All you gotta do is open that cellophane package and put it in whatever you're gonna cook it in, the crock pot, or I was like, this takes the fun out of cooking.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the time, the lens that we live in. We don't have time.
Right.
Inflexible work, like you said, inflexible work schedule, and the stress of paying bills. It regulates how poor people have fewer options. It regulates how we have fewer options to just take the time, cook, and have it prepped and ready to go.
Exactly. So you put this in the oven for how long?
Put it in the oven 400 degrees and for about 30 minutes.
Okay. And you finished with prepping this now, right?
That is right. It's ready to go in the oven.
Well, sure. Let's put it in there. Back. All right, so we got the finished product here, and it looks good. Yes, it does. And there's no bacon on there, by the way.
But you know what? I was just saying, the way the cheese look, it can give you the illusion that bacon is on there.
And it gives you what again?
The illusion that bacon is on there. Because see, look at the colorization of that chicken.
I think we need to call somebody, man. You got the bacon.
The colorization. Okay.
It gives you the illusion.
Okay.
That there's bacon on that chicken.
So it's gonna taste like it, since it look like it.
Yeah. Mine or matter.
All right. So okay. Before you start making the plates, I did want to know. Okay, how does the FDA, regulates what we eat? Like, what do they? I mean, how do they know this is what our country needs to eat and this is what they do not need to eat? I mean, do you know anything about that?
I don't know too much about that.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right.
Okay, so there's different different ways how they do this. So FDA verify compliance with food requirements. The FDA entry reviewers are trained to verify compliance with applicable product requirements using the information provided in the FDA and the importer's entry transmissions, such as declared manufacturer, declared importer consignee, product description. For example, when it comes to meat, you need to make sure you can tell them the date of birth, where it was killed at, how it was. Yes, like if you want to eat organic, they want
the name of the cow too. This is messy.
Well, I'm sure people are eating clean.
That's no obituary.
Well, to make sure stuff is like
Basically, she had 3 calves.
To make sure it was clean.
was born October 2nd. She gave 48 gallons of milk to her slaughter.
They want to verify all that.
We ready for plays, Brandon?
All right.
We ready for plays?
I do know that from the education standpoint, that when Michelle Obama and the Obamas was in office, they went into this healthy eating style, and there was some regulations that were made and added to the school systems with the ISBE grant. So there were regulations made to where you can only have so many fats, so many grains. You had to have so many grains, so many fats that you can use during the school time. So the breakfasts that they were serving, they made sure everybody got breakfast at school, but it can only have so many fibers and this and that. And then lunch, it limited what you can even season, down to the seasoning.
Really?
Yes, it was very detailed. And because they wanted to teach the kids a better way of eating and make it integrate more fresh foods for the kids during school. You got to think about it. Most families in the U.S., most of their meals are consumed at school. Breakfast and lunch is a huge component, and it's being served at school Monday through Friday. So they had to put that in there and implement that.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's
cool.
cool.
There was a lot of mad kids running around for a while, but you know what? Like a mad cow does it. They got over it.
I can't have no sugar.
They got over it. When they got that breakfast, it was more of a grab and go breakfast. All it was maybe an apple and maybe a cup of cereal or a cheese stick and an apple and low fat milk. Kids running around here with attitude. That might correlate with the school shootings. I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
But I'm just saying. They might want to look at that.
Yep.
Because they took the bacon out of their breakfast.
Took that whole bacon.
I'm just saying.
But then also, there are fads that come. Healthy eating, like I remember Atkins when I was out. Weight Watchers, of course.
Weight Watchers.
And it comes out and
it was Slim Fast.
Slim Fast.
Everybody running around drinking that. It was bloated.
Right.
All the gas.
So keto's another big one right now.
Keto.
Oh, I've been watching that keto.
Well, now what's the keto?
Not Keto.
No, you're going to take the Z out of it. And just put the KETO back on there.
So, okay, well, we're going to taste this right quick.
While he talked to us
The
keto diet?
Yeah.
So a keto diet is really a diet that is one where you monitor your carbs. So you basically focus on good carbs in your body.
Okay.
And so that's what because carbs is typically one of the big major reasons why a lot of people gain weight, because we consume too many carbs.
Okay.
But when you think about, you are eating carbs now, like in the zucchini, and those are good carbs. Those aren't the harsh grains that we eat when we eat too much bread or we eat too much breaded food. The chips that you guys were mentioning earlier, those are all the kind of carbs that we don't want to consume on a regular basis. I mean, we got to splurge every now and then, but that's the thing that you don't want to do is all the time eat those kind of
and that's where you see them kids, they be at the store and they grab those hot cheese,
hot Cheetos, hot chips, hot fries.
Hot Cheetos,
you can see 5 of them walking down the street, they all got the bag eating.
With like some big cans or huge, was it the size of it later? I forget how big it be, like great soda, different types of soda, like Sierra Mist or something.
This is good, by the way, Brandon.
It is.
This is very good.
And I don't even miss the bacon.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, I don't miss it.
No, and it got like different flavors. Like it's like almost like a sweet. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like zucchini. Don't like it, but I am eating this. This is good. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, this is very good. Okay, so How does diet companies use the media for, to try to persuade people to get on, this diet?
I know one thing I see. You see these commercials with these diet companies, and you see this woman in the little black dress that didn't fit, and then they say after she was on this diet for 2 weeks, and then they show a picture of her in the black dress
Right.
that fit now.
Right.
I don't try that. I'm here to tell you that dress still don't fit unless I put a girdle on.
Right.
So they lied to me. So I feel like I was deceived because I did the same thing they say do in this commercial. And my dress still don't fit.
Because it's like those pills. Like those pills. You take this pill. And if you take this pill, it's going to, after so many days, you're going to lose this much weight. And they may show this guy at first day. And he's like, oh, this pill. And I just feel the weight falling off me now. He just took it right
because,
now. And then 30 days later, and he's all, and it's like, some things is just not possible. So they feed, do they take advantage of the desperation of people who wants to lose weight?
I think they do.
They take advantage, like the influx, like I said, going back to the work schedule and the time you have, and how a lot of people don't have, some might not have the time or they might have the money. It goes back to quick, fast results. It's like we've morphed into a microwave society. You can get like this in 3 months, where realistically, I'm pretty sure losing weight don't work like that all the time.
Right. Well, it doesn't.
And that's the problem. Like I said, it's feeding the fact that you may not have enough time. We already know this. So this can help you get this amount of results if you send us XX amount of money.
Right.
And then order now, free shipping and all this other stuff. But like you said.
Shouldn't there be some kind of law? Shouldn't the FDA stand there and like, why are you teaching these Americans or these people to do this?
FDA just regulates food. They don't let the company. I don't think because it goes into a big name company. It goes back to like.
But see, I'm one of those people that believe in a sin. So I'm not gonna believe these fads. I'm gonna look at different cultures, like the Asian culture.
Right.
You look at them. I ain't never seen a fat Asian.
Except. Well,
I just ain't.
Sumo wrestling.
Well, they doing it.
They have to force themselves to be that
more
big.
Somalian, most of them are.
They're pretty strong.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I ain't never seen a fat Asian person. All the people that do my nails, ain't none of them fat. I'm just saying. And so I'm just saying with that, I'm gonna look to see what they eat. And so I'm at the nail shop. Everything they eat a lot of or drink.
Right.
A lot of their meals because they don't have time to consume because they're gonna get they all about that dollar. They're not going to take a half an hour lunch and miss out on $60, $75 because they took a half an hour lunch. They can go and sip something from that cup and they're going to come right back and tell me to pick a color. I'm just saying. And then none of them, and I don't know if it's just, but they eating because they bring their food in. I've seen the rice cookers. Yeah. I've seen the different trays of food. And I go, really,
right.
Pretty nice nail shop, and this is what they do. This is what I've observed. Right. So I'm observing. I'm looking at things. I'm also observing at other cultures that like Indian cuisine. A lot of that Indian cuisine with the curry. They doing something right.
Yeah.
So that's
so
what
other countries. That was like my last question. So other countries do eat better than us.
I really think they do. They doing something right.
Yeah, you had something about that. You were showing us that the kids at school on junior high or what is that?
Elementary
school was eating what again? What was that dish?
So, just to give you an example, like for example, Japan's lunch, rice, fresh fish, for example, is like part of their lunch. You don't see that. I mean, when I say fresh, it's like they just cut it up fresh.
Did we ever have fish in school?
No, we're talking about like salmon.
We have fish sticks.
We're talking about like salmon, rice, like wholesome food.
Right.
Another good example is like France. In France, elementary school cafeterias are held to a much higher standard. Every meal goes through a dietitian who makes necessary changes to ensure that they are healthy and well balanced. All meals are prepared daily using fresh ingredients as opposed to the pre-frozen, like generic, like pizza or chicken patty that we had at lunch. And I do have a picture here, and maybe we can had it up. But to give example, it's like a baked chicken thigh and a leg with some fresh, looks to be cilantro. It looks almost like we're going into a diner. Like the type of lunch they have is almost like you would see at a 4-star restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like y'all eating like this at 8 and 9 years old.
Right.
And I bet you if you take that, it correlates with the brain activity and the way they function. So I bet you their academic scores are higher as well because of the type of food they're eating.
So, Brandon, that's a question.
We're also pretty thin, and that's why the food is high. It's good quality.
That's the question, Brandon. Is what about that? What about food related or correlated with brain thinking or intelligence? Or is there a connection?
There has been a connection with food and like you said, brain thought and the process. But when you think about just your body in general, your body is a machine, and it's just like, think about your car. You put in unleaded gas or you put in premium gas. So you're putting in premium gas, which is a little bit more expensive, but it typically leads to a better performance yield. That's the same thing with food in there. When you're thinking about eating healthy, you got that healthy food that's filling your body. It's going to yield to a higher performance level.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because of that.
So why did you get into this?
Well, I enjoy fitness. I also teach group fitness classes. So I teach group fitness classes at the workout company here in Bloomington Normal. And it's just something that I just, at a point in my life, I was working and I was commuting. So like Chris said earlier, that time was a factor. And I found myself getting too far out of shape. And I was just unhappy with myself and my health. And I decided to make a change. So when I made that change, I joined the gym and got into Les Mill group fitness classes, and then got to a point that I was interested enough in them that I started teaching them. So.
Okay, cool. Okay. So when did you start changing your eating habits, and what research did you do?
I started changing my eating habits back in probably about 2010, and then the research really was just what I found online, a lot of it, and just talking with other group fitness instructors and group fitness personnel at the gym, just learning how to just utilize fuel from food, and how to fuel your body correctly. So a lot of times we think about, like you guys were talking about, the fads and the quick fixes, and that's really the mindset of where we are. We want that quick fix, but really everything that starts with health starts really in the kitchen. So it starts with that. You're not going to get those chisel abs, or you're going to get that hard body by doing all the exercise. You have to combine that exercise with diet. So and then you think about diet, it's not necessarily a diet itself, because the diet, when you say fad, it's like, what is a fad? It's temporary. So it's really a lifestyle change that you have to make, where you have to make those cautious decisions every day that I'm going to choose to be healthy. I'm going to choose to eat healthy. I'm going to choose to prepare my food healthy. So that it's just a mindset that you have to take on.
So what was one of the hardest things that you had to give up?
The thing is not really necessarily depriving yourself of things. It's like you can still eat healthy and still have some, I guess, food pleasure. I guess if you say like the sugar,
moderation.
The naughty
it's the naughty stuff.
Moderation.
Food naughties.
Food naughties.
So I can still go to Krispy Kreme donut and get me a hot and fresh, ready glaze.
Ooh, with the red light flashing.
Come on with that light on.
Just not every day.
Just not every day.
It's just
that's
not
my
every
problem.
day.
Yeah, because isn't that like a drug too? Because you taste it and it's good, especially you taste something new.
It's the salt and sugar.
And you like, oh.
And then it goes to the sensor part of the brain.
Yeah.
That pleasure zone.
Because I know me, I'm obsessed. If I like something a lot, I would eat it a whole bunch every day, and then I'm like, I want more of that. And that's my problem. I always had that problem. So yeah.
It's like, how do you tell your brain no? No, you can't.
It's a process over time.
But it's like you said, it's a way of thinking, right?
It's a way of thinking.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. It's the process. It's so like what you're basically doing when you decide to eat healthy, you create healthy habits. So, and then one thing you have to do is you have to prepare yourself to eat healthy. So it takes a little planning. It's just like you need to go, when you go grocery shopping, when you stock your fridge, when you stock your pantry, you need to be aware of what you're purchasing. Is it something that is something healthy that I can go to as a snack? And then you have to plan accordingly. think about like fruits and vegetables. What do you enjoy eating from a fruit and vegetable?
Mhm.
You know, what fruits and vegetables are those? And then, you know, those are the ones that you want to have ready to go as your go-to snack.
Okay.
As opposed to buying that bag of chips.
Right.
You know, you buy a bag of apples.
Okay.
So it's just the mindset.
Just a mindset. Okay. So pretty much, what would a person, and I will end it off this. What would a person, like if someone is struggling with, you know, diet or lifestyle change, or you know, just want a healthy, or they just got a bad report from their doctor and say you got to stop doing this. What is something that is easy for them to start doing? For them to start, you know, getting back to eating healthier so that they can, you know, have a better life or a better body and a better health wise.
Well, the first thing that you kind of want to do is just start a journal. Just write down what you eat. A lot of times we're not in tune to what we're putting in our bodies. So,
you know what? I never thought of
that's
that.
the key thing. It's like, you know, sometimes we tend to eat because it's there as opposed to eating because we really need to.
Yeah.
So
a journal,
you can start there.
Yeah, journals sound pretty cool. It's like
MyFitnessPal is one that a lot of people use.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. So a journal, and then
So basically you can kind of give you insight to what you're eating and then how much you're eating.
Right.
So that gives you an opportunity to say, this is where I can have an area of like breakfast. Maybe I don't need that for breakfast. Maybe I'll just have 2 eggs over easy with maybe a side of vegetables or
And
some
some
sort or fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you know,
And a
maybe
slice of bacon.
bacon every now and then.
bacon every now and
What
then.
about turkey bacon?
Turkey bacon. Well,
It's a healthier option. I know that.
It is a better option.
Mr. Watson Brandon, dear friend, we appreciate you inviting us to your home and your kitchen and feeding us this delicious food. And this is Pesto Chicken. Okay, is this something that you created?
No, actually, I got it off of a website called Tasty. So.
Tasties. Okay, all right. So, Tasties.
That sounds like a donut. Okay, I'm back.
So,
I'm going to buy you some donuts.
all right, so that's about it for our show. We had great food here. It's Pesto Chicken. We thank Mr. Brandon for inviting us here to his house. Anything we all gotta say?
I enjoyed it. Like I said, even with the bacon.
Yeah. And I don't eat zucchini, but I love that. And
Thanks for having me.
well, people, we thank you for joining us.